Welcome back to Her Perspective. We're having a lively discussion here with Danisha Blake, the Sales and Marketing Coordinator at NCU Media, and also Sandra Knight, counseling psychologist at the Northern Caribbean University. She serves in the Counseling Center. We're looking at sexuality in marriage and in single life. Sandra, we spoke earlier about the need or the necessity for single persons to control their urges. But is there a need to control the urges within the context of marriage?
Yes, and this can become very easy if you were practicing before you got married. Control, yes, if your spouse is not available and the urges are on, what are you going to do? Or if the spouse is available but just did a surgery, just had a baby, then what are you going to do? You just have to wait. So if you were practicing before, then it will become so easy for you to control. Because remember now, if you, as a married person, if you don't try to control your urges, you're going to end up in adultery, divorce, abortion.
Yeah, for some people, yeah.
So as to destroy the evidences. So you must, whether you are married or not, show a certain amount of control. It's not just about obsession. It's about, remember now we know that sex can be used to glorify God. We need, as married people, to control ourselves.
But hold on. If sex is supposed to be glorifying God, then the more you do it,
within the context of marriage.
But she's talking
I'm talking within the context of marriage. So the more...
Yes.
No, the question I would ask, Adis, and you know, we have to start, we single girls,
yes.
right?
Stick together.
Right. No, but you said, in the case where your spouse isn't available, or maybe your spouse has just had surgery, just had a baby or whatever it is, are we then, someone may be wondering,
yes,
right?
yes.
Are we then confining the act of sexual, well, let's not say sexual injury, but the traditional, yes, is that what we're saying, that it can only be had in a traditional sense?
But listen, on a serious note, if I am with my spouse, I just had a baby, of course within the marriage and within our bedroom, we can be creative, but I'm talking about control so as to avoid other pitfalls like adultery, etc. But as a married couple, you should be.
We are not dictating what happens there. Some persons want to dictate exactly what happens in people's bedrooms. We are not taking up that
responsibility. All you do it according to your
and let me also
value
add,
system, etc.
Sandra, that sometimes we're only thinking of the woman.
Yes.
But sometimes it's the woman who has to be waiting.
Yes.
Because sometimes there are some challenges that a man may have. It can be related to a lifestyle disease or so, and no matter what he does, nothing stands. So the woman has to wait.
Yeah, sometimes we have to wait.
Yes,
Until
you're saying it's going to come back to, because you don't want to have to, or you shouldn't even be considering going outside.
No.
But
I like the point where she says, you have to be creative
and that
in your approach. Right. But the question I'd like to ask, though, as we look at the urges and controlling the urges inside of marriage, outside of marriage, how do we factor that as it relates to the communication between both individuals? Because you're saying, I've just had surgery.
Yes.
And so I'm not fully functional.
Yes.
But my husband, my spouse, may need to
be gratified.
Yes.
So you become partially functional.
So you become partially functional. Isn't that really a function of the communication aspect of it and the intimacy aspect of it? Because as you rightly say, a lot of times we talk about sexuality and we think about sex and sexual intercourse. But when you look at being, and this is what I think of when I think of getting married, and I hope to get married one day. I think of a relationship where whatever it is that obtains in that relationship, it's consensus between both persons. So if it is that there is a gratification that needs to be,
you communicate that.
We communicate that. And then we come to an agreement and we deal with it. But I want to point out that that kind of appreciation of your sexuality doesn't come from the other person. It comes from inside of you. I've heard persons complain that they're in a marriage and my husband won't do this or my wife won't do this or whatever, right? Have you told the person that this is what you want to be done? And how can you tell the person that that's what you want if you're not confident within yourself and know for yourself what it is that floats your boat?
And so, you know, you have highlighted what is a crucial element of relationships, communication. And many persons, you know, and Sandra and myself have had to do it where we have to deal with couples at times, and you find that one of the biggest problems is communication. And as it relates to sex, it's even worse because people don't talk about that aspect. Even if the woman sometimes is dying, and you know, we have spoken about menopause, and some women are engaged in this and they're not happy because it's uncomfortable, but she will stay there and bear the burden and not enjoy it, and then find reasons not to want to engage because she will not say to her spouse, darling,
I don't like
I find that I'm not enjoying what's happening now. Some of us are afraid to say penis. Some are afraid to say vagina. And if the husband and wife can't even call the names of the organs, how can they even relate? So communication is key. And it goes right back to something that we said before, where we need to be educated. Because, you know, and there are several things working in the background, because I think there are many Christians who still think it's wrong to even enjoy sex. It's wrong to even have sex when you're not having a baby. Wow. And so even there, you know, we need to, if God gave us this gift, many persons are abusing it, many people are misusing it, but if we have given ourselves to each other, given ourselves to God, we should talk about this because it can be very fulfilling. And if we don't have, for those of us who don't have children around, this is time to even get closer to each other.
And within the context of the marriage, it's a beautiful gift from God.
That's
Somebody said that if God had anything better than that, he kept it for himself. It's the best thing he gave to mankind.
We could have handled it.
But question though, we're talking about the urges. Do you think that it's easier for females to deal with it than men?
Well, you know, we can only speak about it from a female perspective. And I know for a fact, and I'll say it, it's not easy to deal with. And no one should fool themselves into thinking that a sexual urge is something easy to deal with.
It's not easy.
It takes prayer and supplication and lots of activities.
Exercise.
And lots of cold water.
For some people here that doesn't work. So.
And if you're going to be thinking of the evidences, everybody will know you're engaging in this sexual activity because you become pregnant. And if you want to hide that, if you want to hide the fact that you were engaging, you have been engaged in that, then all you need to do is get some protection and look at the protections, the availability. The only thing right now that is giving condoms competition is phone card. It's on the, it's true. It's on, you go to the supermarket, you get it. The men on the street selling phone card and peanut, and they have condoms selling too. It's on the shelf like flour.
Yeah.
So if you want to hide it, then you just use a protection. But then it's not so.
Right.
It's just that you need to exercise a certain amount of self-control.
And let me tell you, one of the things I think about, and one of the deterrents for premarital sex and getting involved without a permanence to the relationship is, how do you know that this person who you're giving of yourself and sharing yourself with is really going to stick around?
Right.
And if he doesn't stick around, then he's just another guy.
Yeah.
And you know,
And you keep changing.
you know, there's traditional black book. He's just another guy in the traditional black book. And sexual intercourse and intimacy is so much more than the act of it.
Yeah.
It's a total engagement of your mind,
body, and
your
soul.
spirit, your soul, all of that. It's giving of yourself. When you think about even the physical aspect of it, the man inserts himself into the woman, and for that period of time, they are one. That is a massive, massive experience to be taken lightly and to be just toyed
trivialized,
with and trivialized.
And if you look at the stages when you're married, and for the first few experience, it's nothing. It's nothing. But as you get to know the person and connect with the person,
becomes more meaningful.
Oh, please.
And this is why, you see, this is why, you know, when some persons sit and they're watching, because if you watch some movies, oh my goodness, they're on cloud 9 for the first experience.
Right.
I had a friend who the next day said to me, Lorraine, if it's that we're talking about, for her it was not exciting. It was not this woo up in the clouds and thunder and lightning, not at all.
But maybe it was thunder and lightning, it's just very violent. I'm just saying.
You understand me? So, you know, it is, as you say, it's after a while.
Yeah.
You know, you get...
But I'd like to ask this question
Yes,
at
darling.
this point. For us single girls,
Yes.
as we court and as we look forward to getting married, how easy is it to really purchase a cat in a bag?
Quite easy.
Because how do you know that?
And how do
know,
you...
Through prayer and much supplication,
So you're saying,
Lorraine.
I guess the question you want to ask, how do you not marry puss in a bag?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
That
How
is-
do you know that you're getting
It's going
value
to be
for
gra-
your
because- listen, no,
dollar?
this is somebody who you're going to be value for your money. This is someone who you're going to be spending the rest
Of
of
your
your
life
life
with,
with.
and you want to guarantee it?
You can't bring it back to the store to get a different one if it doesn't fit.
Yes.
How do you
But the
manage
laws of the
that?
land will back you with that. Yes.
But, okay, so you're asking then, within the, and I'm thinking we're saying within the Christian context,
Christian
we're
context.
asking people, how do you not have sex before to test it out? Because we're trying to be as real as
Yes.
possible.
Oh,
Have a
yes.
medical checkup.
That's it. And so we
And
can
you
we
should-
can only
should-
no, but we can only say what we did. And
Yes.
some of you will look and think that we old people never had our, you know, before.
Old?
But I
Who's
can
calling
tell
you old?
I can tell you we did nothing before. I'm not. We didn't go intimate, but we went to the doctor and the doctor gave us a clean bill of health. You understand me? And
Whose doctor is it? Your doctor or his doctor?
I know.
I don't know.
no, I got a clean bill of health and he got one. And I'm thinking that when you are courting, you're gonna look.
Yes.
You're gonna
So you
glance.
can look.
Of course you can
And,
look.
and if you hold my hand like this, something must happen. So I'm going to kind of focus.
I mean, there was kissing, there, you know,
Yeah.
but you just don't reach to the place
And
where
even
you
the
become
doctor
intimate.
himself cannot be too sure.
Yeah.
But you know,
I never
I
went
mean,
to a doctor and I wasn't
Well, I guess-
sure, but I went with faith.
I guess a lot
tell
of it
myself,
is-
if I
That's
don't
some
get what I
big
want,
faith.
I'm going to just walk out.
big faith.
I
Sandra.
guess a lot of it is risky.
Yeah.
You're taking a risk.
It is.
A lot
Yeah.
a lot of times, our young people are eager to know about this topic, and we hide it.
We don't talk.
yes.
We don't talk.
We
yeah.
don't talk about it. It's so crucial for them to understand that it is possible to wait. It is quite possible
That's
to remain
it.
chaste before
Yeah.
marriage. People have been doing it,
And still-
and
Still
people
are doing it
right.
because there are people who are
Oh,
still
yes.
doing it.
Oh,
And even so, some persons have always asked the question: how far is too far in a
Far, yeah.
relationship, while dating, while courting? Could we explore some of those things?
Yes, when we come back.
Oh yeah, it's break time.
Yes.
We'll be back after this break.